findings of more than 5,000 published articles and studies in the past 24 years, many never before available in English, reveal that nearly 1 million people around the world died from exposure to radiation released by the 1986 nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl reactor. Emissions from this one reactor exceeded 100-fold the radioactive contamination of the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. One nuclear reactor can pollute half the globe. The U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission says extended blackouts lasting 8 hours or more could cause severe reactor core damage to nuclear power plants.
To Japan now, though, their radiation levels in the seawater near the Fukushima plant continue to rise. They're now more than 3,500 times higher than normal. Radioactive materials also been detected in soil at the facility. Japan's government has described the situation as serious and unpredictable. Workers have been unsuccessfully trying to restore the plant's cooling system in what's now the worst atomic crisis since Chernobyl. There's been some debate, too, over whether there are any similarities between the two events.
Scientists warn that geomagnetic storms could cause extended blackouts.
Earth has just been visited by the perfect solar storm.
The sun kicked up this just incredible solar flare and a massive amount of energy headed towards Earth.
Not only was this storm one of the two most powerful on record, it was also one of the fastest. Ejecting from a sunspot aimed directly at Earth, it raced from the sun to our planet in less than 18 hours.
Storm, this cloud of electrified particles, managed to get here in less than a day. That's incredibly fast.
Fortunately, the perfect solar storm took place in 1859, when the only technology vulnerable to the onslaught was the telegraph. Since the era in which we have become dependent on high technology, we've yet to see another perfect solar storm.
Could be devastating.
The effects on Earth and on our communication systems, we don't exactly know. That's the scary part.
It's likely that our modern technologies would be battered like beachfront houses during a hurricane. Imagine if we lost all the satellites that relay cell phone calls, television signals, and bank transactions. And what if, at the same time, the failure of power grids cascaded whole regions into darkness for hours or weeks?
The exposed part of the core was beginning to cook. Temperatures in the reactor were already reaching 4,300 degrees. At 5,200 degrees, meltdown. A scenario called the China Syndrome.
The core could have turned into a molten white-hot mass. It could have gone through the concrete base of the plant and into groundwater, which is immediately below the foundation of the plant. Could have fractured the earth instantly in all directions, and geysers of radioactive steam would have spouted into the air through the parking lots. And a cloud of death would have wafted north over the city of Harrisburg.
Solar storms can be as hard to predict as hurricanes. While forecasters lack the technology to foretell the next perfect storm, they do know that one would be more likely to hit at the peak of the sun's 11-year sunspot cycle.
What happens is the sun reverses the direction of its magnetic field every 11 years. So in 22 years it reverses and comes back to where it was.
As we near the reversal every 11 years, the number of sunspots increases, and there's a spike in solar activity.
We call that period solar maximum. And those periods are interspersed about 5 years apart from periods we call solar minimum.
To see what mayhem the next solar max might unleash.
So the last solar maximum was in about 2001, and so the next one ought to be about 2012.
The crisis at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is a wake-up call. We have to pay attention. We don't have much time.